Today I saw Aquaman, the latest addition to the DCEU, or Detective Comics Extended Universe, as no one has ever called it. And this one's been somewhat on my radar. I've mostly liked the last few DC movies, although some considerably more than others, and the trailers made this look like a fun blockbuster adventure, but not one I was amazingly excited to see. But I still happily took my seat in the cinema, and I have a few thoughts about this one, so let's get straight into them. This is behind Mission Impossible Fallout as the longest movie I've seen this year. But whereas that film never dragged on, Aquaman does in a couple of instances, and not without reason. If you're going into this expecting to see Aquaman's origin story, you won't be getting it outside of a couple of scenes scattered throughout. The introduction to some of these characters and their motivations feels a little rushed, which would be fine if this had been someone like Batman or Superman, but most people don't really know that much about why Aquaman does what he does, so some extra time devoted to that would have been nice. Especially as some of that time is spent on some pretty boring villains. Okay, Black Manta is almost really compelling, but he's tossed aside halfway through, leaving us with a generic power-hungry leader, and it's his scenes of being evil that can slow the film down at times. But when the focus is drawn back to our main characters, the movie becomes a lot of fun. There's a great sense of adventure to it that isn't seen in a lot of superhero movies, instead drawing a lot from pulp-esque adventures like Indiana Jones and especially Uncharted in a couple of scenes. I also appreciated the balance between quippy comic book affair along with a few slightly darker moments too. The characters are likeable enough and they partake in some pretty spectacular action. It's loud, creative, and some really impressive long takes give it a great sense of momentum. There's a few other fun set pieces too, making for a blockbuster that should definitely please people looking for some flashy action. But the movie also creates a visually interesting world. The CGI isn't always great, but when it's there to create awe-inspiring locations, it excels. There's some scenes of our main characters travelling through Atlantis that could be right out of Blade Runner, and a really memorable soundtrack captures that too. So everything seems to be in place for a really fun blockbuster. But the story issues hold it back a few too many times, and even though I liked the characters, mostly thanks to the actors, I wasn't that invested in them nor where the formulaic story went next. But despite its couple of lulls, I found this to be a very enjoyable blockbuster that I think will satisfy most audience members looking for an explosive, fun time. I'll score it 3.5 stars. So overall, this is a very unique entry in the DCEU, but a welcome one. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, I hope you enjoyed. Leave a like, subscribe to all that good stuff, and I'll see you all next time as I give you my thoughts on 2 more movies this year. Goodbye!